Welcome back to another game analysis. This one comes straight from a recent tournament that I played in, and I'm going to be showing you exactly how not to play Quantum League. And by that I mean I made a plethora of mistakes, which we're going to dive into and analyze. And I really think you guys should stay around for the whole video because this analysis is packed with hints and tips and everything under the sun. It's going to be really handy for everyone and you're definitely going to learn something. Now before we begin, in my defense, it was 9 AM start time for those people in the United States, which means that it was 5 AM start time for me over here in New Zealand. So, give me a break. Go easy on me. Alright, enough of me whinging, so let's get into it. I start the game off by picking Violet. Her passive is that you can exchange your pistol for a secondary weapon. I think this makes a lot more of the other weapons a bit more viable. I won't go too much into the character passives in this video because I'll reserve that for a later video, because some of the passives are up for change or tweaking or something like that, so I just want to wait until they're finalized before doing a video on them. So I rock with the grenade launcher and the SMG to start with, but before I select both weapons I want to shoot both of those barriers down, and I use the pistol to do so. The reason I use the pistol is because I'm going to get rid of it. If I use the SMG, then I would have to spend time reloading the SMG, and I don't want that. So I'll use the pistol, take down the barriers, and then I swap to my weapons that I'll use for the round. So here, if I was a bit quicker, I could have gotten at least one extra grenade launcher shot out. I probably would have done it at his health pack or where his C1 is. So you can see that he's playing high ground, which is probably one of the better ways to counter the grenade launcher. And the shot that I just took is pretty useless. Like, there's no way that I'm going to hit that unless I put in a lot of practice. So that probably isn't worth doing. And it would have been better if I just shot the grenade launcher at his health pack or at maybe where his C1 is. And this here is a cheeky angle that I discovered to get people that hide behind the front middle barrier. I don't think I hit him there, but later in the video I get a good shot. And so my C2 is quite exposed here, so that's why I drop back and get the health pack in case next round his C3 kills my C2. So I decided to take the sniper in the third round because I know that his C2 stands still up in the top left. And although I get quite a nice headshot on him and I kill him, I forget that he drops down and gets the health pack anyway, so it was actually kind of pointless for me to do that. So what I should have done is put some shots off on his number 3, or I could have rushed for the health pack that his C2 gets and pick that up and deny it and kill him while he's there. But anyway, I drop down and I want to be full health when I try contest the point, so I quickly go back, get that health, and then move for the point. I get a few good shots and I win the round. So in the second round we start off and I do see him going for my health pack, but I'm choosing to ignore him because I want to focus my attention elsewhere, so I'll leave killing his C1 to another round. With my first grenade launcher shot, I can't remember if I was aiming for the health pack or to get it behind the barrier, but I should have been aiming it with a bit more purpose. So the first shot wasn't very good, but the second one was a bit better because I think it explodes behind the barrier. I like shooting the grenade launcher onto the point with about 2 seconds to go, so if they get on point a little bit earlier they're going to get damaged by the AoE from that, and it can also create a smoke screen for when you push the point. So here comes one of my main mistakes. That grenade launcher shot of me trying to hit his number 2 up there is pretty pointless and a waste of time. Like, first of all, the chances of me hitting him is extremely slim, and I know, based off last round, is that he's just going to drop down and get the health. So there's not much point in me trying to kill him before he picks up the health. What I should have done is killed his C1 with my SMG and then picked up the health. And then as his C2 went to pick up that health pack, I could have put a grenade launcher shot there to kill him after he picks it up. So for the third round I decided to go for the shotgun, and as I discussed with the last round, is putting any damage onto his number 2 now is completely redundant because he's going to be picking up that health pack. Unfortunately I don't click to this immediately. I think I just sort of saw him out there exposed and was like, sweet, free damage. But of course, CD Hollow uses this opportunity of me being distracted and just lays into me. So that was a pretty poor performance by me in the last round. I should have played it a lot more patiently around my health pack, or I could have rushed for his as soon as I died. Popping up with a shotgun right behind him would have been pretty devastating. If we rewind very quickly, you can see that as soon as I pick up a health pack, he's immediately putting damage onto me. So I definitely should have been a bit more patient in that round. Okay, so it's a new round and he does the double health pack steal again. I've already done a video breaking down the double health pack steal if you'd like to watch that. It was my last match analysis and you can click up the top now. But I think what I should have done here is just ignored him completely, and I could have used this time to put my grenade launcher shots elsewhere. So you can think of it as assigning jobs to your future self. So there's no rush to kill his clone 1, you can do that in the second or third round, and you should start thinking ahead, like, yes, I can kill him in this round, but I think it's better for me to do other things in this round, and in the second and third round, that's when I concentrate on killing them. So that's the job that I should have assigned my number 2 or 3. Now, although it's important for me to try damage his number 2 after he gets the health pack, what's also very important is for me to take my health pack on the left side before his C1 gets to it. I don't want to take it too early as well, and you'll see why in the third round. So I get a nice shot on him, I pick up the health pack, and then I head to point. But he gets a really nice double headshot with the SMG and kills me. So my initial thought here was he's going to go top, so I'm going to go underneath and try sneak the health pack from him and force him to fight me from there. But he sees me and drops down immediately, so I get damaged and I turn around to pick up my health. And what you'll notice is I start my reload on the SMG and then swap to the shotgun, just because you run slower when you're reloading and I want to get to the health pack a little bit faster. However, you can see I've still got another couple seconds or so before my C2 picks up that health pack. So what I should have done was finish reloading, then got the health pack. And then the rest is history. You know, I try push point, but he uses my own clone as a body blocking tool, and he gets another good few headshots on me. So the start of the fourth round, and I decide to go for the double health pack steal myself. You know, I want to switch it up, I'm a little bit desperate here. And on my way over to the first health pack, I do this grenade launcher shot, where I think that he's going to be standing in one of the future rounds. And it's a little bit ridiculous in hindsight, so you should always be thinking in terms of likelihood and the cost. So how much risk is it in me doing this? What's the reward when I pull this off, and you know, what's the likelihood of it happening? So in this case, it's quite low likelihood that it's going to hit, you know, and maybe I would get the kill on him, maybe not. But if I did get the kill, he would just drop down and get the health pack. So really it's, again, it's sort of a useless shot that I just made. What would have been a bit more of an efficient use of my time and ammo is to actually bomb the health pack that I'm moving towards and put a little bit more pressure of him picking up that health pack and hopefully maybe damage him after he picks up the health pack. But you know, that is a lot more useful than doing some miracle grenade launcher shot across the map. And I finish up the round with just some god-awful shots. I'm just going to blame the fact that I had to get up really early for this, alright?
A solid attempt. Last second save.
And so this is usually the standard way to play against a double health pack steal, is you get your C2 to kill the C1 before he gets the health pack, and you push mid. And this time I'm a little bit better with my shots. I'm a bit disappointed I missed that sniper shot, because that would have been really handy. But either way, I managed to kill him. And that was a bloody ballsy play on my part. Looking back, I would definitely advise against this. One stray bullet and I would have been gone for. So I think what was going through my mind at that time was that the last thing he would have expected from me was for me to just come flying at him, and so that's exactly what I did. So I had a little bit of advantage because I took him by surprise and I had high ground, but again, if you go back to the cost-reward likelihood scenario, it just doesn't add up. It would have been much more sensible for me to go to my back left health pack and maybe try to get a nice sniper shot and then hit him with my SMG. Now you might be thinking here, what the hell is he doing? Why isn't he shooting? Well, let me introduce you to one of my friends called James. Gun James, specifically. He sucks, he's not welcome, I never invite him over, and yet he just lets himself in anyway. So as promised, here's an example of me using that angle to kill the clone hiding behind the center barrier. And then just like before, I run back and get my health back in case in the final round he kills my C2, and then I head to point and I win the duel. So we go into overtime, but let's rewind that loop and just take a closer look at what I did. So firstly, you can see that he's going for my health pack, and ask yourself, is there actually any point in me hitting him with the sniper right now? If I get a headshot, he's still going to be at full health as soon as he picks up that health pack. So if I reacted quickly enough, I could have actually gotten to the health pack before he did, and it would have put myself at such a big advantage compared to him. So I played a lot more passively than what I should have. I should have either pushed him or got myself into a better position. And because of that, I don't have enough time to kill his 3 and the other clone that's on point, driving us into overtime. Not only that, but I probably shouldn't have finished his number 3. I should have just left him on very, very low health, and that would have been a massive advantage to me in the final round of overtime. And it turns out that Gun James is here to stay, apparently. So to make the most out of this clone, I'm going to sacrifice him, basically. I want to put a timer on his health pack, because remember, whenever someone takes a health pack, a timer has started. No matter what happens in the preceding rounds, that health pack is gone by that time that it's picked up. There's nothing you can do to stop it. So that's what I want to do with this number 1 here. Since the health pack is on his side, I'm wanting to shorten that timer as much as I can. Okay, stop. Did you see that? Did you see that huge mechanical failure on my part? Like, when I'm watching this, I physically cringe when I see what I just did. So some games are a little bit more forgiving when it comes to reloading. You can half reload your gun, swap weapons, and then when you swap back to that weapon that you were reloading, the animation picks up from where you left off. But not in this game. Right, so I probably wasted a good, 1 or 2 seconds or so half reloading both of my guns. And in a game where time is crucial, that was a huge mistake. And I'm not being hyperbolic here either as well. Like, this is a big failure on my part. You can't afford to do that. I got 3/4 of the way through my reload of the grenade launcher and then cancelled it. Okay, that's no. Okay, either don't start the reload or you finish off the reload. It's also worth noting that I put a whole lot of shots off in his direction, and then when he turns around to shoot back at me, I instantly move to the right to get behind cover. So if you look at that, and you see that just that quick dash to the right, that's actually really good mechanics on my part. It's just a shame that it was followed up by some atrocious mechanics. Oh god, just look at that. Disgusting. So the last round comes along and I'm wanting to play as far back as possible. I have the sniper rifle and I have the advantage for long distance fights. I managed to get a body shot off on him. However, because of his character passive, I only take him down just below half, which makes it a bit more difficult to finish everyone off. And we go into overtime once again. Yeah, so Gun James is definitely overstaying his welcome at this point. See, I thought it was going to reset after my clone's death. So that just sort of threw me off a bit and put me a little bit on tilt. So if I had a slightly clearer mind, it probably would have been best to stay near the very back or up on one of the ramps until the last couple seconds, and then I jump down to try contest the point. So I love that shot that I just did, and this is one that should be practiced quite a lot, and you need to know the timing of it, because you don't want to damage the clone before he gets the health, because that's just a waste of time. He's just going to pick up the health and be at full health again. So my damage went off immediately after he picked up the health pack, which is perfect. And here I have another small failure in gameplay. So instead of going off to the left like I did, I should have actually gone to the right and opened up the angle from that direction. I had health advantage, so I could have been playing a bit more aggressively there. But instead, look how defensively I'm playing. I should be the one in mid waiting for him to pop out, not the other way around. And also I have no idea what I was doing jumping out with my grenade launcher equipped and then swapping to my SMG. That was a big mistake as well. Maybe I was thinking that I should get a last second grenade launcher shot out and then I changed my mind, but either way I should have had my SMG when I came out of cover. So the reason I didn't push for that health pack there is because I'm relatively healthy as it is, and there's actually a high chance of me dying from my C2 like his C1 did. I definitely should have held a lot further back than what I was currently holding, but this is only really clear in hindsight. I definitely didn't expect him to come top left, and maybe you're watching this thinking that that was the obvious thing that he was going to do, but it didn't occur to me, and unfortunately I just managed to miss the top of his head with that sniper shot, and he pushes point and it's all downhill from here. And so that is the game. To be honest, while playing I could tell that I was messing up a lot. I didn't realize how much I was messing up until I went back to analyze this game for myself. So obviously one of the best ways to get better at this game, not including, you know, watching all my videos, but is to watch your own gameplay. You can spot the incorrect thought processes quite clearly. And that's the match analysis over. So I do want to thank you, honestly, for sticking around if you managed to make it this far. This is definitely the longest video that I've ever done, and there's definitely going to be some more videos in the future, so, you know, feel free to like, share and subscribe. And yeah, get on it. We'll see you in the next video.
Last second save. What a paradigm.